How's it going, everybody? This video is long overdue. When did we go to Florida? 3 weeks ago already?
April, what, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th?
Yeah. So, whenever that was a while ago. We've been wanting to put together a little video talking about we spent a week down in Florida. We went down there for
my best friend's wedding.
Sarah was the matron of honor in her best friend's wedding. It was down in Disney. So yeah, we're gonna kind of just talk about our week that we spent down there. We've had some friends waiting for this video, so we apologize. We've been really busy since we got back from Florida. So where do we start? I guess, I went turkey hunting the day before. I never talked about what happened. I showed some scouting videos. Actually, the last scouting video I did, my buddy Dustin and I sat in a location under a tree on one side of this public piece, and we saw some turkeys all the way across the other side. My hunting period was period A for turkey season. Unfortunately, we had to leave for Florida the day after my period starts. The way that the DNR breaks out turkey hunting in Wisconsin is there's different periods and you get selected for a certain period. So I had 1 week to get a bird and technically 1 day because we had to leave for Florida the next day. So I got out there on a Wednesday. Hello, Emmy.
Come up.
It's probably gonna get loud now. We were trying to keep her distracted in the master bedroom with the TV, but it didn't work. So anyway, I got out there at 4 a.m. I got out on public land. I was the first one out there. Unfortunately, nobody ever showed up when I was out there, which is what I was hoping for. So I went to where Dustin and I had seen birds all the way across the property. I did see the same birds again, but they did not come over onto public land where I could harvest one of them. Had I been sitting right where we were scouting, I watched a tom gobble like crazy on the roost about 75 yards from that spot, fly down out of the tree and walk right past the bottom of the tree that we had sat at when we scouted. So that's hunting though. You can do all the planning in the world and the animals are gonna do whatever they wanna do anyway. So I wasn't successful the day before we went. The day before we went to Florida. So then the day we went to Florida was Emerson's second time on a jet and Elliot's first time on a jet. Sarah's parents were on the same flight as us.
Mm-hmm. That was really helpful.
Which was awesome. Okay.
They've got a lot to say.
You know this is going on YouTube, so everybody's gonna see this, and you're gonna be embarrassed someday. So we left Mitchell International in Milwaukee in the morning, and we headed down to Orlando.
Cheese!
After landing in Orlando, we weren't able to check into it was an Airbnb, right? Mm-hmm. Weren't able to check in yet, so we went to Epcot. And what did we do at Epcot?
Toured around the world. We ate at, was it Under the Sea restaurant?
I think so.
I forgot the name of the restaurant.
It's the restaurant with the huge aquarium in there, which was pretty neat.
So it was nice because we were eating with the fish. Yeah, it was quite interesting to actually find something that was dairy-free for me to eat.
Yeah, Sarah's still doing the whole dairy-free thing since this little guy has a dairy allergy and he's still breastfeeding, so Sarah is also dairy-free now.
And possibly blueberries as well.
Possibly blueberries. And maybe pumpkins, apparently. So yeah, we spent the day at Epcot, we went back to the house, and actually, that morning, the day that we were flying down, SpaceX was supposed to launch the Crew 2 mission to send 4 astronauts up to the International Space Station. So many of you probably don't know, but I'm kind of a huge space geek. As a child, I remember being fascinated with the space shuttle program. I'd build space shuttles out of Legos. At one point, I had the glow-in-the-dark planets and stars all over my bedroom ceiling. I had a telescope. It was a cheap little kid's telescope, but I'd look up at the moon and stuff as a kid, and it just was always fascinating to me. Space is so vast and unknown. And then NASA kind of shut down for the rest of my life until now. Fortunately, private companies such as Elon Musk, SpaceX, Jeff Bezos with Blue Origin. It's really exciting. We're having another generation of kids being brought up with space fascination like I did, which is really exciting. I'm glad we're doing this again. So anyway, they were supposed to send the Crew 2 mission up that morning. After landing and going through the whole traveling and stuff, my friend Brandon sent me a text saying, hey, they scrubbed the launch due to weather and postponed it till the next morning. So
When we're in Florida.
yeah, so we're in Florida. I think we're about an hour away from Kennedy Space Center in Port Canaveral, where they're going to be sending up this rocket. So we go to bed planning, all right, we're going to get up and we're going to drive out there. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, at least for us up here in Wisconsin, to get to see a rocket, nonetheless a rocket that's crewed. 4 astronauts going up to the space station. Like, that's really neat. So the morning comes, we set our alarms for like 4 a.m. I think the launch was at 5:49.
You know, something like that, or 53.
I took some notes. Yeah, 5:49 a.m. the launch was scheduled for. So this is April 23rd. And we wake up and I'm just like, I'm exhausted from the previous day. And this happens all the time. I'm not a morning person. Even when I'm like, go to bed excited to go hunting and stuff, it's like I wake up and I'm like, dude, I'd rather stay under these covers in bed. So I turn to Sarah and I'm like, should we go? Do you want to do this? And she ends up convincing me to get my butt out of bed. And
yeah, I said you would regret it if you didn't.
Which I would have,
because we were down there.
No offense to our friends being down there for the wedding, but man, getting to see that rocket was the highlight for me. That was really neat. That's history. Getting to witness history like that was so cool. We jumped in the car and we started racing down there. Racing literally, like Sarah's going over the limit all the way down there because
in the dark, in a construction zone, in a rental vehicle.
Unfamiliar, we're down in Florida.
Yeah, passing tolls.
Just blown by tolls to get down there.
Well, because the GPS said like we had 2 minutes, to spare before launch.
Yeah, it was very close.
So I was trying to catch up on some time, and I think we made it to like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, we probably had 3 or 4 minutes by the time we got to where we wanted to go. I had the live feed up on YouTube. I was watching the live feed from SpaceX with the countdown and everything. So we get to, there's a public viewing location on the northern side of Port Canaveral, just across the bay from Kennedy Space Center. As we're driving up, we can see the shuttle bay all lit up, like the historic, like you see that and you know that's Kennedy Space Center.
Well, we saw a bunch of vehicles pulled over on the expressway too.
Yeah, as we were driving there, just on the side of the expressway, vehicles everywhere pulled over to watch this launch, and we're like, whoa, why are they all the way out here? There's this public viewing location. We're going there. There's like stands set up and stuff that you can watch from. We drive to this public viewing location. We've got, like she said, 3 to 4 minutes before this launch, and we got to get out there and.
Not even.
I should mention I didn't bring my cameras down there with me. We just brought our personal family camcorder to pack light, and I didn't really plan on doing any filming when we were down there anyway, because I thought I was gonna miss this launch. And
it was family time.
It was family time. Yeah, we it's good to break away. Not that this is a job, but it's good to break away and just spend time with the family and focus on that. But I did bring my family camcorder, so I got some footage. So we get out of the vehicle at this public viewing location. We start booking it. We're running across this intersection, pitch black out. We jump out of the vehicle. We start running across the street to go to these public viewing locations, and it's empty. There's nobody there. We're like, wow, this is really strange. I mean, this is a pretty big deal. Nobody's here watching. Yeah. And all of a sudden, squad car lights go on, and a car drives up to us, siren, yeah, whoop whoop. And we're like, oh geez, what? They pull up and they're like, yeah, if you didn't notice, there's nobody here for the launch. There's no public viewing of this launch. They didn't give us a reason why, but I'm assuming it's probably COVID related. Too many people too close together. So we're like, crap, we've got like 3 minutes. What do we do? And they're like, turn around.
Well, no. So we just said, okay. So then we got back into the vehicle, and as we were getting back to the vehicle, another squad car pulled up with his lights on, and we gave them a thumbs up, like, we know that we can't be here.
We're getting out of here.
They said where we could go to watch, and so we just got in the vehicle, started driving
Didn't he say
on the
something
road.
like, hurry up, you got 3 minutes?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, takeoff is in 3 minutes.
Yeah, so we jump back in the vehicle, we got the live feed up, and we're just like, okay, what the hell do we do now?
We just stop at like the next intersection and
we literally went
over.
like 500 yards away from those officers, pulled off into like an industrial park, and just parked in the entryway, jumped out of the car.
A few people followed us.
Yeah, there's a couple other people that were doing the same thing as us. We got the live feed up, and they're like, 5, 4, and all of a sudden we look on the horizon and there's a glow. The live feed was like seconds behind. I pull out my camera, and I start filming after it just had lifted off, and I got video of the rocket going up in the sky. Sarah and I, we both started tearing up. Like, it was such an awesome experience.
Well, you teared up. I thought it was amazing and exciting, and you know, the adrenaline rush because you were just running all over the place. I don't remember.
Yeah, you said in the video,
up.
I'm gonna cry. Watch that. She says it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you said
okay.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. It's so bright. We're gonna hear it soon, I bet.
Best shooting star ever.
Can you imagine riding that thing? Alright, pull your phone back up. I think separation just happened.
It just flickered. Oh my God! Oh my God, I'm crying.
That was awesome.
Holy crap. Okay, I gotta get my phone back up.
Yeah, let's watch the feed. So that was the launch. That was pretty neat, hey? I should mention, I took some notes here actually, so I wouldn't get the facts incorrect, but the rocket launched from Kennedy Space Center, as I mentioned, on time from the iconic Launch Complex 39A. So that's Launch Pad 39A, basically. That pad was originally constructed to handle the launches of the Saturn V rocket, which is the rocket that ended up taking us to the moon. So when we went to the moon, they launched from that same pad that we got to watch a launch go from. Really neat. In the early 1980s, the pad was remodeled for the needs of the space shuttle program. And then SpaceX currently holds a 20-year lease on it, and they modified it for their Falcon 9 rocket. Seeing the launch was fantastic, but the next part was really fascinating. So
And I wasn't expecting
I wasn't expecting it either. I knew, so there's separation of the stage 1, stage 2, and the capsule. So the crew is in the capsule and the Dragon. Then there's a stage 2 booster behind that. And then at the bottom of that is the stage 1 Falcon 9 booster. So that booster will break off and land itself autonomously on a drone ship out in the ocean. Nobody controls it, it lands itself. And it was far out, we knew we weren't gonna get to see that aspect, but we did see, once the rocket, the whole thing was up in orbit, you could see the booster separate. The Falcon 9 uses nitrogen gas. It'll send out little plumes of nitrogen gas to correct its attitude control. It's the attitude control system on the rocket. It basically gets it level where it needs to be to come back down and land on the drone ship. When you're watching these launches from home, you can see little bursts of air coming out in the camera footage, and you think, okay, yeah, I get that. I know what that looks like. But then seeing it happen in person, up in the atmosphere, it sends these huge plumes and arcs that just, they look so bizarre. Watch the footage here. Oh, that's the booster, I bet. That is insane. Those little plumes are the booster repositioning itself so it can land on the drone ship. What? That is insane.
What?
Oh my God. So it's gonna land right out there on the water.
Okay, so that pointy light thingy,
That's where the astronauts are.
Oh, really?
The one going out still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was that, whatchamacallit coming down.
That's the one making the little weird, is the booster.
Whoa.
That is the booster.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so cool. You can see the booster coming down. You can literally see like the tip of it. You see it?
That is so cool.
Oh my god. So yeah, that was fascinating. We were just blown away. What a cool experience. We jumped back in the vehicle and head back to Orlando. And then what did we do that day? We just stayed around the Airbnb, went swimming in the pool that they have. And then later that day, Sarah had to leave for the rehearsal. So my friend Carissa and Ben were getting married at the Swan and Dolphin Resort in Orlando, right on Disney grounds. And so on Friday, I had to go over to the Dolphin side of the hotel to get ready for the rehearsal dinner. After the rehearsal, since it was my first night alone without either kid, I went to bed early. So while she was doing all that boring stuff, here's what I was doing.
Oh! Oh!
Nice, Joel.
Woo! Oh!
So then the next day was the wedding, and Sarah being the matron of honor had a huge responsibility on her shoulders, and if I do say so, she handled it quite well. Well, I hope so. I mean, my friend Carissa deserves everything great in this world. So it was a true honor that she picked me to be
you want me to hold?
Her matron of honor. So yeah, we woke up early and headed over to her room to start getting ready. It was nice just to spend the whole morning just with the girls, getting ready and being with Carissa. The hours leading up to her wedding was really special because we've always talked about that growing up, our wedding days, and that we want each other and to be a part of our wedding as much as possible. So that day in Orlando, it was estimated to be around 90 degrees. Yeah, I actually went golfing that morning with Sarah's dad and my two brother-in-laws. It was hot, it was humid, I didn't see any alligators, I sucked at golf. But Bobby sank a sweet putt. He didn't think I'd put this in here, but here you go, Bobby.
No, please no. Please, God, no.
Bobby!
So it might not look like it from that angle, but that was probably a 35-foot putt. Yeah. It was quite it was a distance, and he did awesome. Spencer said right before, yeah, Bobby's really good at golf. As much as he doesn't want to admit it, he's pretty good. Spenny told him, if you make this shot, I'm jumping in the water. And Spenny, we're still waiting for you to jump in that water. So Carissa said we could bring the kids to the wedding, but that would have been a handful, especially me just being by myself, because Sarah's in the wedding and the matron of honor. Yeah, and they just would want me the entire time, and obviously my time is all dedicated towards Carissa. Right. Instead of bringing two kids, I brought one intoxicated sister-in-law. She wasn't at the time, though. No, she had a good time though. We had a really good time together. So Molly and I went as a couple. Water. It has to be the dishwasher. Okay, that was weird. That sounded like a cricket inside, but I don't know. Anyway, so Molly and I get to the Swan Dolphin Resort. What the hell is it? Is that right? Swan and Dolphin. Molly and I get to the Swan and Dolphin Resort. And you were texting me, but you knew like Sarah was having photos taken with Carissa and everything, and Molly and I get there and we're like, where do we go? We have no idea what to do. So we just pick a random dude that's working there. We're like, we're here for a wedding. And he's like, oh, well, you're probably at the wrong spot. It's probably over at the Dolphin. At the Dolphin, and we were at the Swan. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure Sarah said it was at the Swan. The guy goes and checks with another guy, and he's like, yeah, you're probably supposed to be over at the other place. So Molly and I are like, all right, whatever, we'll figure it out. We walk over there, and we see Okay.
we see stuff set up for a wedding, right? But we're like, well, how do we know that this is Carissa's wedding? Maybe they host a couple weddings a day. So we start walking one direction and we get there and there's like nobody. We see like the ceremony area and there's nobody there. It's completely empty. So we're like trying to get a hold of Sarah. Sarah doesn't have her phone, or I think you did have your phone, but you weren't answering, you know, whatever. But I'm like, oh, I can see Sarah's location with Google location. So I see that she's on the other side of the complex, down by the water. So we're like, let's just go head over there quick and Sarah will tell us where we need to go. So we walk over there, and as we're walking up, we see Sarah and the whole gang taking pictures and stuff. Chris's mom's like, hey Mike, how's it going? And I'm like, hey, and I'm like, Sarah. Sarah looks at me and just completely pissed off looking face walks over like, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be over by the playground or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. I'm sure you told me what to do, and I
did.
Yeah, I forgot.
It was
Typical
all in a
man,
text
right?
Message. Ow. Jesus.
Oh, that was a big kiss.
Yeah, it was.
So I'm like, I'm sorry. Okay, whatever. We head back there. Molly and I head. Hang with us. This is family life. You can never do anything easily. So Molly and I start heading over to where the ceremony is gonna be. We get there and there's like a few people waiting. We're like, where is everybody? Like, is this it? It's gonna be like 4 people sitting in the audience. And we're watching the girls and the guys in the wedding walking up from across the campus, and we're still like the only people there. So take our shoes off, it's on the beach. And we go and sit down, and then eventually more people started coming, family members and friends and stuff.
We're early.
We were early, I guess, which is good because we were lost. So had we gotten there on time, we might not have made it. So I didn't film anything with the ceremony. It wasn't really my place to do that, and I just wanted to enjoy it. But I did take a video of Sarah walking down the aisle, as beautiful as she is. It was beautiful. We had a really good time. It was hot. I can't imagine how the guys in their tuxes and stuff,
Yeah.
holy cow.
They did great.
Yeah, everybody did really good.
The officiant paused the wedding so I could fix her hair, her veil, and her dress.
Yeah.
He warned me that he was gonna do that during the rehearsal, but I didn't think he was actually serious because, I mean, everybody just continues to do what they, continues the ceremony without pausing just so you could fix the dress and her hair.
Do you remember what he said to Ben?
Oh, that better get used to it now because
You're
not
something like
gonna-
you're never gonna leave the house until your wife's dress is perfect, or something like that.
Which Chris is always perfect, so.
Yeah. So the ceremony ends. Molly and I head over and we start having our hors d'oeuvres and whatnot. Get really tight with the bartender, Eric. Shout out Eric. He took good care of us. Then we end up going. It was dinner then.
Yeah. So during cocktail hour, you guys were having obviously hors d'oeuvres and drinks and all that, and right after the ceremony, since it was so hot, we were walking through. You gave me some of your Sprite, so I chugged that because I knew I wasn't gonna have anything to drink
I knew she was gonna be
for
thirsty.
a while because I was gonna go with Carissa and Ben to take their photos after the ceremony and before the reception started. So that was really nice of you. I was super thirsty.
I'm glad you're not here right now because it smells like poop. Somebody went poop in their diaper. So we'll tend to that after we wrap this video up.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not too long.
It was fun with the photos. I ran for the boat. It was a ferry. So Carissa can, get on so we didn't have to walk all the way to where she wanted her photos taken. After all of our photos were done being taken, I had to run back to catch the boat so we could get on to go back to the reception that we were starting to get late for. And a little bit, okay. But then after I ran to the boat for the second time, I found out that the boat's not even going in the direction that we want. So he's pulling my hair now. And then right when we got back there, it was time to eat and party and dance all night and just have fun and
Yeah,
relax.
Molly and I tried oysters for the first time, and it was awful. I'm not a fan. I love seafood, but
she was, throwing them back.
Molly was putting them down. Here's a video of that.
We had really good food there.
Yeah, we had a good night. It was a good time. So we headed back to our Airbnb. Man, I don't even know if we stayed up or anything. I think we probably just crashed.
Yeah, well, I took a shower. Actually, I had to shampoo my hair twice because of all the, hairspray.
So the next day was Sunday. We went to Magic Kingdom, and it was pouring rain on us when we got there. Fortunately, it went by pretty quickly. Apparently, their numbers are reduced.
Yeah,
but it sure didn't seem like it.
30%.
I can't imagine what full.
30%.
That's got to be a lie. I can't imagine what full capacity must be like then. It was hot. The lines were so long.
Yeah.
I only think we got on 4 rides.
Yeah, 3 or 4. I mean, we stood in line for 1, only to find out that it broke as we're in line.
The coolest part probably at Magic Kingdom was Emmy getting to see Mickey and Minnie, Goofy. She loved seeing them. The castle. Where's the castle? Whoa. So we had a good time at Magic Kingdom with the kiddos.
And my parents.
And yeah, Bob and Peggy were there. So then Monday was Cocoa Beach, right?
Yes.
Monday we went to Cocoa Beach, which was right back by Port Canaveral, where we went and saw the launch. So actually on the way to Cocoa Beach, we stopped and saw the Falcon 9 booster on the drone ship back in port at Port Canaveral, which was awesome to get to be that close to it and just see something that was just up in space. Like how many things can you look around and say, yeah, that was in space? Well, that was in space.
A few days ago, yeah.
Right, yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm geeking out on this. I love space.
Geeking out.
So we got to see that, which was really neat. Then we went down to Cocoa Beach, and we all got terribly sunburned, but it was worth it. It was a good time on the beach. It was fun.
Mhm.
We're at Cocoa Beach, all set to go in the water.
Elliot went in the ocean for the first time.
Yep.
Emmy went in. She was a little hesitant at first. She had more fun playing with the sand and making castles.
There, so touch the Atlantic Ocean.
Yay! Okay.
All right.
But then towards the end, she really enjoyed it with you.
Yeah.
What was she saying?
I took her out in the water, and every time a big wave was coming, she'd go, big wave coming, or what did she say?
Big wave coming.
Big one coming, I think is what she was saying. Big one coming. So we'd jump and we'd go over the wave, woohoo! And then right away, big one coming. Every wave that was coming in. So we had a good time. It was fun hanging out with Emmy out in the water. And you could see Kennedy Space Center from where we were on the beach. So again, for me, just really neat. Kennedy Space Center is right up here. Crew 2 launched probably right out in this region. Went up into space, the booster came back down and landed on the drone ship out here, and the drone ship came back into Port Canaveral, which is where we just were. Got to see it sitting on the drone ship. Pretty awesome. So we left Cocoa Beach, and on our way out, we could see the crane was lifting the booster off of the drone ship. And then the next morning, we headed out of Orlando, flew to DC, which we didn't know we were doing.
Yeah, we were running through security.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It was horrible. I felt like we were the McAllister family from Home Alone. We had to run.
We almost missed our flight.
Yeah, almost missed our flight. And then second to last to board the plane, found out we can't even sit together.
Yeah.
So at least Emmy and Michael got to sit together.
It was just us.
Yeah.
So Caitlin and Spencer and Molly were on a different flight later that day, and Bob and Peggy, Sarah's parents, were staying another week with some friends.
Emmy, that's enough. Sit up.
There's poopy diaper right in my face.
Sit up, sweetie. Come on.
Okay, everybody say cheese.
Cheese.
Cheese. Just kidding, we're on video. Alright, so we ended up going to DC. We didn't know that was part of the trip, but it was kind of cool. We got to see the White House, and Sarah and I had been to DC once before, but we definitely want to go back and see all that stuff again. So
Stuck in my face.
saw the Capitol, the White House, the Washington Monument, etc. as we landed. We didn't have to get off the plane. Sarah was able to come closer to us, so we were finally together.
Yeah.
And then we flew to Milwaukee. We were home. Finally. So yeah, we spent a week down in Florida, and that's kind of everything that happened. And sorry, this video is probably very long, but we wanted to share it. We had a good time and got to see some really neat stuff. So
time to go change a poopy diaper because it's stinky
it stinks in here. So
you go poo poo?
No, get here.
No, stay here.
No. Should we say bye to the camera, everybody?
Bye. Bye bye.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye, camera.
And get the cream.
Okay, let's go. Let's go change our poopy diapers.